Hey there, everyone. I am so glad to be with you this morning. If you're in Australia and if you're in the States or otherwise anywhere else in the world, welcome as well. Whatever time of day you're meeting me, because even in Australia, you might do this video a little later in the day. I am going to invite more of a morning energizing practice. And I'm going to invite morning intention setting. So just know that if you do it in the evening. And for those that know me, thank you for joining me. I'm so glad you're here to practice again with me. Thank you. Thank you for yourself, and thank you for joining the community. And for those that are new, I'm so excited to have you. I'm so excited to share with you our mission to start to heal and plant seeds to thrive in our bodies, our minds, and in our lives, our relationships. So I have a little bit of a spiel here in the beginning that I want to share with you. Go ahead and, while I'm talking about the setup and things like this, give us a like on the video, give us a comment about how you're feeling today. And if you already know an intention that you want to set for today, you can put that in the comments as well. Otherwise, I will guide you through setting intention today. So whenever you do yoga online with us, because we're having more and more classes online, I'd go ahead and set up for all the props. So there's 2 blocks, but you can substitute the blocks with books if you don't have blocks. Books that are about the same width and dimension would be best until you invest in your own blocks or props. There's a blanket. I'm using a yoga blanket, but really you could use any blanket to support your knees and support a little bit more padding in the mat, unless you have a nice carpeted room like I do. There's bolsters if you need. I would have that near if you have it, or if you can have it. If you don't have a bolster at home, just grab a pillow. That's okay. We can use pillow, maybe a couple of pillows, because they're usually a little bit softer, a little bit smaller. So those are the props I would have handy, whether you're joining me now or if you join some of our classes in the future online. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this free class, is to show you and share with you what we're starting to offer more and more, which is our online classes. And this is done through the studio, except for 1 class a week I do here from California. And that's just while I'm away from Tasmania. And it's a little over 11 classes now that we're offering a week, maybe even more. We started to get our apprentices as well doing these classes online. And you book in just like a regular class, and you receive a Zoom link where we can see you and have real conversations. So it's a little different than even today, where we would be able to communicate with you and check in with you a little bit before, a little bit through the class, and definitely after the class. And for this unlimited live access to our classes, there's a membership that you can join, and it's only $19.80. Super affordable. And you get a discount if you have any concessions cards, senior cards, student cards, or if you've been in our Sacred Seeds program before. So that takes it down to $15 and plus a little bit of change. And that's once a month, and you get to join us online for any of those live classes throughout the month. The other benefits of this is I send a themed email every month specifically for the membership. And what I'm going to start to do is offer at the end of the month a class that goes with that theme, just for members, a class specifically with me. And you can come back to that. You can come to it live, or you can come back to it with recording. So that's a new feature. That's a new special and benefit. Alongside all of those benefits, you also get major discounts on our workshops, our live and online workshops. You get major discounts on our retreats. We have an Earth retreat coming up, and our trainings. That's a really big one. So if you're thinking of training with us, please join our membership. It is definitely worth it. All right. I will bring back the membership a little bit later too, but I needed to get that out there because this is a huge part of our system and how we start to support our students. All right, who's ready to get in their bodies? Say yes. If you're really early in the morning, it's time to move. So go ahead and start to come to your mat. You have your props ready. You're all set. All right. And we're going to start standing, actually. We're going to start standing. Just give me a second to set up as well. We're starting on our mat standing, or where you're at standing. And you make sure you have about hips distance apart with your feet. Your toes are pointed forward. You're feeling that good alignment so that they're even. Okay? Take it just a little bounce in your knees. Make sure you're not locking out in your knees. And we're just going to take a moment to meet the day. If you're like me too, it's the middle of the day, but I've had a lot of other demands on my day. My children, my partner, things that need to be done for the house. So really meeting myself. Bringing your right hand to your gut and your left hand to your heart. Settling into your feet, maybe lift your toes and ground a little bit more. Remember the bend in your knees. I keep saying it because so many people lock out and are ungrounded. And I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Take a sigh out the mouth if that feels like it could help release, and find relief and drop more into your body. Good. And if you can, you're going to start to breathe softly through your nose. And if you're not able to because of sinuses or illness or anything like that, that's okay. Just start to breathe through the mouth with that same attention. And as you drop in, I'm going to invite you to really feel the diaphragmatic breathing in your right hand. And really feel into the belly space, the womb space if you're a woman, or that deep pelvic region for any of us. That's where we're going to focus today, our hips, our pelvis. And dropping in there, just ask your body in that center how you're waking up, how you're feeling connected, without judgment, just noticing how you're feeling. Taking time and space to ask how you're feeling as you drop your awareness to the pelvis and the hips. Today's practice is a water practice. This is a practice we do in winter for Australia, but it's a great practice for fluidity. Just one of our processes today. We're going to be fluid and set intention for feeling our body, feeling our feelings, emotions, sensations. And if you'd like to set your own intention, this is very strong practice, very important practice. Intention for the next hour, a little less than an hour, around your feelings, particularly dropping down into the feelings of your pelvis and your hips. And when you have that intention, just gently bow to yourself, drop your head to yourself, to that intention. And then exhale, release your hands, open your eyes. Beautiful. Waking up. We're going to circulate and find fluidity through our body, starting with the feet. Lean forward into the toes without scrunching or gripping with the toes. And all you're going to do is do a circle in your feet. So you're going to go over to the right and lean over to the right side of the feet, the edges of your feet, and then go over back to the heels, up through the left, onto the balls of the feet. Keep the toes light if you can. And you're just going to circle around the edges of your feet. As you do that, you might bend the knees as you go forward and lengthen the knees as you go back. It's just a little circulation. Now you're breathing through your nose if you can, remember, and see if you can start to iron out the circle and iron out your breath so that there's no gap, no pause with your breath. And it's a circular breath as you make circles in your feet. And then as you go forward, go to the other direction. So going back the left side and up through the right side. Again, trying to marry the circulation around the feet with a circular breath. No gaps, no pauses. It bleeds like a wave. Remember your knees. And go one more circle. Right? And then come to your hips. So reestablish your feet. Feel centered in your feet and even. Weight in your feet. Come to the hips. Holding the hips. Bring the hips, the pelvis, forward. You might lean a little forward in your feet. And then as you exhale, you're going to go over to the right, to lean to the right and push the buttocks back. And as you inhale, you're pushing the pelvis over to the left and forward. Inhale forward, exhale back. And circular again. This is one of those qualities of water, the fluidity, the circulation. Next time you come forward, go the other way. And see if you can marry that with a circular breath. Good. And one more circle. Good. Let's find that with our shoulders. Bring the hands to the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, bring the elbows up. Feel, exhale, the elbows go down. Feel the support system of your feet and your pelvis, helping lift the shoulders and chest. Exhale, release. Keep flowing. Inhale up, exhale down. Creating circular movement in the shoulders, connecting it to the breath. And then the next time you go down, go the other way. Inhale, back and up. Exhale, forward and down. This is a nice gentle way to wake up the joints. Have a little bit of blood flow, lymph flow through the system. Good. One more circle. And then release. Let your arms hang. Let's do this actually. Scrunch your shoulders. Exhale, release. Do that 2 more times. Good. Now, hold your hips or your torso, your belly, pelvis region if it helps ground your hands, or you could just have them hang. One more thing to circulate before we do vinyasa. You're going to drop your head towards the chin, drop the chin towards the chest and circulate that in the neck. So as you inhale, go up the right side, and as you exhale, go down the left. Inhale up the right side. And exhale down the left. You might hear some creaking, popping. It's great work. Again, ironing it out, creating a circular flow in the neck, which starts to flow energy from the neck down into the pelvis, connecting our head to our pelvis. Go the other way. Always inhale up, exhale down, and trying not to stop or pause. In yoga, this is called kumbhaka, trying not to create that retention of breath, but a flow of breath. One more. Good. And then inhale, lift tall, feel a little bit taller. Come back to your centers. Remember your intention. And I continue to tie us to the intention, taking a breath there for your intention around feelings and for your day. And gently opening the eyes. So we're going to start doing some vinyasa. So I invite you to maybe take a blanket to the middle of the mat. And you can use that for your knees if you need. We're going to step in front of that blanket, wherever the top of your mat feels like it is. And I'm going to flow through a very gentle vinyasa to begin with, because it's hard to know who's on this live stream. So I want to offer a really gentle warming up vinyasa sun salutation A with cat-cow and child's pose, so that you know you can always come to a different salutation if you're needing a little bit of a break, or if it's just not right for you to go into down dog today or chaturanga. All right, so this first one is really meant to be slower, meant to be a little more of a warm up, and it might be a base level where a lot of us stay. Okay, it's up to you or your body and listening to your body. Let's all do it together to start with. Feet again, hips distance. Maybe you're already there. This time, turn out your hands and start to open your heart. Feel the heart starting to already pump a little bit more, especially if you're in the morning. It's waking up. And then with your inhale, lift hands forward and up. And then with your exhale, bring the hands down and fold your whole body. Bring your hands to either blocks or the shins. And inhale, lift halfway. Think of the back like a nice, long, flat table. Exhale, release, and even the head, the chin. And then you can use blocks here. You're going to step your left foot back. And when you step the left foot back, ground the knee for this first one. And inhale, look forward, look up. Take a nice, sweet inhale, opening through the hips. Feel the hips. And then as you exhale, you're going to step back. And however long that takes you. And instead of chaturanga, we're going to do a cat-cow. So you're going to inhale, lengthen into cat-cow, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, relax the shoulders back. And then as you exhale, you're going to count through the back, round. And when you round, also exhale and go to a child's pose. In that child's pose, if you wanted to walk your hands forward, look forward, wake up the shoulders, wake up the heart. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale one more time. With your next inhale, lift up, and you're going to bring your left foot forward for that low lunge. Take your time. Maybe you need to help it up. And inhale, lift your chest forward, look up, open through the hips in that nice lunge. And with your next exhale, you could lean forward, lean onto the blocks. The blocks have different heights. And come all the way forward into a fold. Inhale, lift halfway with the blocks or on the shin. Exhale, fold again, and maybe you start to lean forward a little bit, feeling that back leg line. As you inhale, arms forward, it's going to take a little more effort. And coming up, exhale, bring your arms back down, opened palms, coming back into Tadasana. Taking a nice deep breath. We're going to do that one more time on the other side, just like that. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lift halfway. Feel that long, flat back without compromising your knees. Exhale, coming down. You can use blocks or not. You're stepping, this time your right foot back. Round the knee. Inhale, look up, lift up. In that low lunge, feel the hips. And then as you exhale, go back into tabletop. Set your foundation with your hands. Inhale, lengthen into cow. Exhale, round your back. And push back into child's pose. Take some sweet breaths. Maybe you want to expand and reach and feel the length of your arms. Take one more exhale. With your next inhale, lifting up, you're going to bring your right foot forward for the lunge on that side. Inhale, lifting up the chest, looking up, reaching the heart forward. And then as you exhale, you could use blocks, stepping forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms forward, lifting all the way. And then exhale as you drop your arms, bring the hands out, Tadasana, Tada, opening up to the day, opening your heart. Just notice that gentle warming up flow, how it feels to circulate the blood, to find some fluidity. We're going to go again. This time I'm going to add modifications to intensify, but if that felt already pretty intense, just stay with that version. So instead of going into plank, you would go into tabletop. Instead of cobra, you would go into your cow. And then instead of down dog, you would go to child's pose. Okay? Coming back to the front of the mat. Here we go. Sun salutation A. Inhale, lift your arms up. Leading that day now. Exhale, fully coming down, leaning forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, drop. And then you're going to step your left foot back, coming into a runner's lunge, or you could drop the knee. Inhale, looking up. This will open the hips a little bit more with the back knee off the mat. And then exhale, either tabletop, low plank, or high plank. You choose. But let's keep flowing. No pauses. As you exhale, try to come down all the way to the ground. And let's do a little baby cobra or your cow. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, releasing. Do that 2 more times, just this time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Try to do that without your hands pushing into the mat. Takes a little more core and back. With your next exhale, push back into child's pose or downward facing dog if you're ready to invert. Lifting the buttocks, press into Asta Bandha. That's your lock of the hands. Pressing into the fingers. Try to lift up through the wrist. Take a couple of breaths, maybe shake out the head. And then with your next exhale, let's not lift the leg. Let's just bring it forward. You might need to drop to your knees. But we're going to bring that left foot forward. Hands frame the front foot. Inhale, lengthen through the hips. And then exhale, stepping forward. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, drop into the fold. Inhale all the way up. Exhale into Tadasana. And we're going to do that on the other side. Inhale, lifting. Keep flowing. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. And this time you're going to step your right foot back, knee up or down, your choice. Take an inhale and lengthen through the hips. Exhale into your tabletop or your plank and chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, or coming up into your cow. You could come higher in your cobra if you're ready. Exhale, using your core, going back to down dog or child's pose. Let's take again another extra breath here. It's a great inversion. Lift the pelvis, lift the womb space. Feel the lower abdomen start to engage and own the weight of your pelvis. Bringing in energy there. With your next exhale, you're going to bring your right foot forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming all the way forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift your hands all the way up. Meet the sun, maybe a little bit of a back bend. Tuck your tailbone. And then exhale back to your centers. Just check in. Hold maybe this time your centers. Check in with your intention. Check in with the connection to your breath. Right, we're going to go sun salutation B this time. And it has a similar flow. And you can also opt to do child's pose or cat-cows instead of the planks, okay? When you're ready, feet hips distance apart. That's how I like to do chair. If you like to go a little bit more narrow with your chair, go ahead and bring your big toes together, heels slightly apart. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, sit back into your chair. Sit back into the heels. Lift your toes maybe for a moment. Maybe you see your toes. Take another inhale. And then exhale, drop down into the leg line. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, release. And you're going to step one foot back, maybe tiny steps, maybe big steps into your plank. You can flow through the vinyasa, chaturanga. You could do the cat-cow, and down dog or child's pose. Okay, next exhale, you're going to bring your right foot forward. You can drop the knee to do that. Right foot forward, a tiny bit wider. Ground your back heel if you can, and we're inhale, lifting up into warrior one. Lift the chest, exhale, flow down, and then flow through your vinyasa or meet in down dog. You may take a little less time than me. We're going to go to the other side. Use your exhale. Maybe the knee comes down to bring your left foot forward. If you can, ground that back heel. It's okay if it pops up a little bit. Inhale, flow up. Exhale, flow down. Maybe you flow through vinyasa. Maybe you don't. And this time you can look forward, you can step. If you prefer and like to hop in your vinyasa, please do. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, drop. We're going to swing up, blow up into our chair. Inhale. Exhale, maybe sit a little bit deeper. And then inhale, flow up, rise up the heart from the hips. And then exhale, ground into your body. I don't know about you, but I can hear my heart and that circulation pumping. Take a moment again, set intention, feel that intention, ground that intention in your body and that beating heart. All right, we're going to do one more vinyasa. We might vinyasa a little bit between things too, since it's the vinyasa class. But we're going to do a moon salutation. I wanted to give you all the salutations we use in these vinyasa classes. And this is my favorite moon salutation that I learned from Melissa Spamer. Very watery. And we start at the top of your mat. So you go there when you're ready, but I'm going to be in the middle of my mat just for the camera, just for the purposes of the camera. So going to the top of the mat, it starts the same way in Tadasana. And then what we do is we do the phases of the moon. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, be bright and big, like the full moon, reaching up, maybe a little back bend. And then as you exhale, come bright with your fingers down, right back down, and returning. This time, we're going to take just the right arm. The left arm grounds. Inhale, right arm up and over to a side stretch, sometimes called palm tree. Reaching over. And then look up, turn your chest up towards the sun. And with an exhale, flow down and around, rolling towards the body and back to center. Other side. Inhale, ground the right hand and bring that up. Left hand up and reach. And I just realized I'm not mirroring, but you got it. Just we're going to both sides. Take your chest up and exhale, flow downward. When you're ready, inhale. This time be soft and light. Maybe start to close your eyes. As you bring your hands overhead together, lightly bring them to the heart in a new moon. Then open wide. Bring your left foot back if you can, or just face the camera if you need. And then make sure that you have a slight internal rotation. That means your toes are going to point inward a little. Hands to the heart. Now, if you have an ESI joint pain, we don't want to push the pelvis. We want to feel a sense of flow with this next part with the pelvis, okay? So maybe you go a little bit more narrow. You feel the distance. Parallel still in the feet, just wider. Inhale, as you open your arms, open your right toes. And then exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, come forward. Come to the shelf of the thigh unless you're feeling like you want to go deeper. And then you're going to bring that top arm a little forward, just a little bit to help the shoulder. And you're reaching into your side angle. So you're bringing that arm into that nice angle. And then as you exhale, you're down. And with an inhale, you're going to flow back up and all the way back to reverse. And then as you exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, lengthen that leg. Let's do that, but with a long leg. Soft micro bend in the knee. Inhale, reach, reverse triangle. Exhale, coming forward into full triangle. That might be on the shin. It might be if you want to use one of your blocks, or you could even just have it hanging. That takes more core. Maybe you reach overhead, maybe you don't. And then let's reverse again. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, coming back to center. Bring the hands in, toes in. Inhale, lifting your arms up, maybe all the way to touch. Exhale, we're going to fold straight forward symmetrically, soft in the knees. Folding forward like we did in sun salutations, just wider. And then inhale, lift halfway. Hands on the hips or out. Pause. Inhale, flow all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, as you open the hands, open to the other side. So you're opening the left toes, left hip. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, coming forward, down into the thigh or block or suspend with your core strength. Reach that arm a little bit forward and reach into the side angle, that sweet, long angle in the top side of your torso. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale back to warrior two. Inhale, lengthen the knee. And then we'll do that flow. Inhale, reach, reverse, triangle. Exhale into triangle with the block or on the shin, suspending. Then you're going to reach that hand over your head. And then we're going to go again, back to reverse. Inhaling up. Exhale, back to center, bringing the hands in, toes in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Feeling that nice, sweet, wide fold. Lift the pelvis up. Feel a little bit of that same ownership we talked about in our downward facing dog. Lifting the tailbone, lifting the pelvis. We're going to use a flow to come up. Inhale, lifting halfway. Stay for an exhale, and then inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands come down. Turn your heels in, toes out, and we're going to go to goddess. So as you exhale, you're coming down into your goddess. That's a squat. Inhale, bring your arms out. And then if you want a little bit of movement, keep the flow. It's a little more intuitive flow. Let it marry with the breath. So notice the breath. Have you lost that circulation and that sweet bleeding, the inhale to the exhale? One more breath. And then everyone come out of it. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now you're going to step to the front of the mat. You can come to Samastihi with the hands at the heart. You could hold your torso like we did at the very beginning. You could have your hands by your side. Let's take a moment. Remember your intention. And feel that intention pulsing through in that heartbeat, in the circulation of your blood, and the fluidity that you're finding in your body. So too is a fluidity finding in your intention. We're going to do that salutation one more time, that moon salutation. And I'm going to offer it just a tiny bit faster. But if there's a place you want to stay and land, listen to your body, okay? So when you're ready, you're at the top of your mat. Again, I'm facing the camera so that you can kind of see me. And I'll try to marry you this time with the side stretches, okay? Feet hips distance apart. Open the palms. First is the full moon, really big and bright. Reaching up. I like to do nowadays a little bit of a back bend with this one. Energizing. Exhale, come down. And then this time we're going to lift the right arm up, ground the left, and reach to that side stretch. Pelvis goes in the opposite direction from the shoulder girdle, open to that nice big sunlight, and then exhale, round and release. Rolling out of it. Other side, inhale, lifting, ground and reach, open. Take that nice stance, feel your pelvis, and then exhale, roll it to the other side. Inhale, go real soft. Soften your toes, soften your fingers. Maybe you already close your eyes as you draw inward into the new moon. And then open wide, open your feet wide, and bring your arms out. Check in with your toes and your distance. And then when you're ready, you're going to turn your right toes out. As you exhale, warrior two, inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle, just for the exhale. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale, warrior. Inhale, lengthen the knee. And let's do that same flow. Inhale, back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, back. Exhale, level. And bring the hands and toes in. Inhale, arms, both arms up. Stay center with your feet. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, pause. Inhale, lift all the way. Exhale, hands to the center. I'm going to go to the other side. Inhale, open. Exhale, warrior. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Find the full expression in that exhale if you can. And then right away, inhale, bleeding into the reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, lengthen. And then we're going to go inhale, reverse. After your exhale, you feel it out, feel the rhythm. And it's exhale forward to that triangle. You can decide with the arm. Inhale, coming back. Reverse. Takes a little bit of balance. Maybe you feel that. And then coming back to center. Toes in, hands in. Inhale. Let's go straight down the center with our exhale, folding. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, pause. Inhale all the way up. And then exhale, hands to the heart. We're going to bring our heels in, toes out for goddess. Inhale, bringing the arms out. Exhale, squatting down. Maybe you want that little bit of flow. Check in with your breath. Is there a place in your body that really needs that fluidity, which will mean that it'll start to have feeling in it? Maybe it's been numb for a little while. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Step to the front of your mat. Pause there, however you like. Check in with that vinyasa. And vinyasa means placing in a special way. We're placing our inhales and our exhales in a very special way with our body so that it starts to flow with our heart, with our spine and our low back or pelvis. Okay? All right, let's play a little bit and we'll flow between it with our tree. So when you're ready, if you'd like a wall, you could use the wall. We're going to step into it with our right foot. So you're going to step into the heels, step into the balls of your feet, but keep your toes light. And maybe again, just check in that you have this nice, soft buoyancy in your knees. Hands on the hips. And then as you exhale, you're going to bring, I want to mirror you, you're going to bring your left foot forward. And then as you inhale, open the hip. And when you do that, start to bring the foot as you exhale down onto the calf, maybe higher. Maybe you bring it onto the thigh, but do not bring it onto the knee. That's where we do not want it, right? And then we're going to stay lower today because we're working with the pelvis. Check in with your pelvis. Really breathe into it. Notice the levelness of your pelvis. How's this side feel in your hips? Instead of trying to reach for a certain look of your tree, I want you to really feel into this space. Feel into your hips and your pelvis. Your womb, are you tightening there? Play for 3 more breaths. Soften in your toes that are grounded. To release, do it on an exhale. Release the foot, but keep the knee up. And then as you exhale, come forward and down. If it feels like you want to roll out that ankle, do so. Maybe roll out the foot. Walk your feet wide between the rounds. We're going to do a little flow. Inhale, lift your arms up. Check in with your feet. Exhale, coming down. Going to walk over to the right side for a breath or two. And then sweep over to the left side for a breath or two. Feel the leg lines opening. Rise up into the hip. Remember, owning the pelvis weight. And then exhale, coming back down to center. Inhale, lift halfway, any version. Inhale, lifting all the way. Exhale, release. Good. Little flow between rounds. Let's come back to center with the feet. And then let's do that on the other side. So we're gonna step into it with our left foot, ground into the heel, ground into the balls of your feet. Keep your toes soft. Yeah? As you exhale, it's that low belly. It's the psoas, the hip muscle, that helps bring that leg forward. Inhale, open out, soften your knees still. And then you're going to land into your tree. Maybe it stays low. You could even come to a kickstand. You could use the wall. Maybe you go high. And today, on purpose, because we're concentrating our energy as we go more and more towards that Sam Yoga into the pelvis, into the hips. Keep your toes soft if you can, or notice if you start to grip as part of trying to maintain. Notice what happens in the pelvis. I notice, for example, that I have a little bit more unevenness on the other side. And this one I feel more open, more flexible, more free in my pelvis and my hip. So you're starting to notice and observe, acknowledge your body, particularly hips and pelvis today. Breathe into it 2 or 3 more breaths. Okay, as you exhale, release the foot and bring the knee forward. Step back. Roll out the ankle. Ooh, maybe you stretch the foot. This is one of my favorites after balancing. All right. And then we're coming back to the wide stance for a vinyasa. Inhale, lift your arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach over to the right foot. Take a couple of breaths. And exhale, back to center, over to the left as you inhale. Just a couple of breaths. And then exhale, coming back to center. Press into your feet. Inhale, lift halfway. Inhale, lift all the way. Exhale, flowing down. Good. Heel toe, your feet back together. All right. Here we go into our Sam Yoga, which is going to be a balanced hip opener. And I'm going to invite you, it can be quite challenging and bring up some emotion when challenge comes, to allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Notice the sensations. The sensation might be gripping, might be tightening. Notice the sensations in your hip and your pelvis, like I was talking about with the tree. Again, you can use the wall here. You're going to step into it with your right foot. It's very similar to tree, especially if you do a modified version. And then you're going to come forward just like tree, but this time we're going to open out, inhale, and you're going to bring that foot either across the shin, you could even touch the toes, use the wall, or you're going to bring it on top of the thigh, or we're going towards a one-legged chair. I don't like the pointy part of my ankle bone going into my thigh, so I try to put the blade of my foot on the thigh. And so I'm opening that hip, yeah? Take a moment, feel into it, check your balance, have the wall. And from here, you're gonna exhale, keep your hands lower today. You're gonna start to lean back into that chair like we did in our sun salutation. Point your toes towards the knee so that you have a dorsal flexion, protects the ankle. And then some of us might go a little lower, but some of us might stay here if you feel like your hip's really tall or high. If you feel like there's that tightness, breathe and feel. Breathe and feel. Maybe you go a little bit lower. You could come to prayer. There's lots of versions here, but I'm inviting you maybe to stay hands on hips to keep that awareness and sensation in your pelvis and your hips. You could look down, or you could have a little lift in your heart. 3 more breaths. Can they flow? And have your hands back on your hips. When we come up, we're going to inhale, lift the pelvis first and lengthen the knee, and then bring the lifted leg up, center, then release. Roll it out if you need, but before we go to the other side, check in. How did that feel? What do you notice? Where's your intention? Good. Let's do that on the other side. So you're going to step into it with your left foot. Keep all those foundations that we found with our tree. As you exhale, bring the knee forward. Find what you need, the props that you need. You're going to open the hip, inhale, and cross the leg, maybe on the shin, maybe higher. Check it out, feel it out. Everybody's hips are going to be different on each side. Everybody's hips are going to be different. And then you're kind of pointing the knee down a little bit, but then we're going to keep holding the pelvis or hips or even the thighs, which have deep connections to the hips, obviously. And you're going to start to sink into your chair. Soften your grounded toes. Lean back into the grounded heel. I'm noticing it with my ankle. I need to bring the toes towards the knee. The right toes towards the right knee. Some of us might stay quite high. Some of us might start to breathe lower and lower into it. Feeling the glute. Most likely, you can look down to help ground if you like with your drishti today. There's different variations with this, but today, bringing energy more down into the pelvis, the hips. 3 more breaths. Flow it. Find the fluidity. And if you can't maintain that, come back up. With your next inhale, after your 3 breaths, lifting up, lift the knee up towards the chest. Come back in line before you release. Exhale. Roll it out. Release it out. All right, this one, maybe you needed it for the other ones too, but bring your blocks to the long edge of your mat. Walk your feet wide. Before we go down, take a moment with the legs wider. Just like we did on the first side, check in. Check in with your intention. We're going to counter. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. You might not need the blocks. We're going to just fold forward for a moment. Many of us are afraid to feel that fluid emotion or fluid feelings, sensations and or emotions. They're connected. Oftentimes in classes or with clients, I hear this fear of it being too overwhelming, and so we stay stagnant. And that starts to accumulate in the body, that stagnation. And so today, finding it in our body, the fluidity will help our mind start to move through the feelings. Inhale, lift halfway, and you're going to take that block to whatever height you like, right in the middle, so that you're creating a equilateral triangle with the block, with the feet. And then you're going to take your right hand to the block. Again, it has different heights. And take your, so you're taking your right hand to the block, your left hand to the hip. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And then exhale, just a little twist. Starting to stack your right shoulder towards the top of the left. It might not go all the way, that's fine, or it might start to twist open. Taking another deep breath, press evenly through your feet. Try to drop the left side of your pelvis down a little. Another deep inhale. Exhale, fold. Fold forward completely. And then inhale, let's go to the other side. Left hand to the block. Right hand to your hip, lengthen. Push evenly into the feet as you exhale, twist. See if you can drop that right side of your pelvis. Stacking the shoulders a little bit, looking up, it's fine, but make sure that you're not compromising your neck. Tuck your chin. Find a flow with the breath. One more. And then exhale back down for one more forward fold. Inhale, just like we've been doing, soft knees, lift halfway. Exhale. Inhale all the way. Exhale, release. All right, you might be very happy with this next thing, bringing your feet together. Let's come to your back. Go ahead and set up for Shavasana. We're going to do one more thing before we go to Shavasana. This is designed for, again, a really early morning class, so we don't have as much of a cool down and not as long of a Shavasana, okay? So take your time setting up for what you want for your final rest, but again, we're going to do one more thing before we come into it. I'll meet you on the back. Oh, that feels really nice. Hands onto your, again, pelvic region and heart. Bending the knees, soles of the feet rounded. Take a moment in constructive rest. First time on the back. It said in yoga and Eastern philosophy that I've read that the emotions are born in the heart, and then the pelvis, the hips, are responding to them, housing them, helping them flow and move. So that's often why you hear emotions get stuck in the hips. But they're born of the heart. So there's a big, again, relationship between the hips, the svadhisthana, the sacrum, the sacral chakra, and the anahata, the heart chakra, a circulatory system. So all you're going to do is bring your knees into your chest. You're going to do an apanasana, but with kind of with the hips a little bit wider. So you're opening the hips just a little bit, nothing too big or wide. I'm not trying to go into big hip opening. And then you're going to exhale, bring the knees in towards the chest, and then inhale away. Exhale in, inhale away. Exhale in, and inhale away. Try not to grip too much with your shoulders or your arms, so you could do it even without them. Exhale in, inhale away. I'm just going a few more times. There's something else that you're needing or wanting. Maybe it's a gentle reclined twist. Please do that. But then eventually, after about 3 breaths, I'm going to invite you to come to Shavasana, to that final rest. And again, it's very short in the mornings, but we're going to do it coming to the bolster with the knees, if that helps. And setting that up for yourself. And feel the rest that is available for you now. There's like a release when we start to come into the flow. A sweet, sweet release. And then I'm going to invite you to take a nice big sigh up and down. Closing the eyes. Maybe there's an eye pillow to help soften inward to Pratyahara. Relax. Feel the relaxation available to you. The blood flowing effortlessly, freely to the muscles and the bone. The heart alive and awake. The hips warm, sacrum warm. Let your breath go really sweet and relaxed. And receive your practice. About another minute in Shavasana, I invite you to see if there's anything else you can release and allow yourself to connect to the flow of your own circulatory system. And drop maybe deeper into the hips and pelvis. Let the sacrum drop deeper into the mat. 1 more minute. All right. Before you move, maybe you already have it, that's okay. Before you move, if you can, come back to that intention you set for your day. Come back to the intention. Let the focus come right back there from that depth of relaxation and receiving your intention. And then moving from that intention back into the world, you're going to start to wiggle the toes, stretch your fingers, create the nice long stretch of your whole body if you like. Eventually, you're going to roll to your right side or left if that's more appropriate for you for various reasons. If you need more support with that, let us know. And stay there for a breath, maybe 2. And then coming gently up to meet me when you're ready. If you want to stay there, stay there. Maybe you stayed in Shavasana. I want to thank you so much for joining me again in this community. I'll reiterate, this is the type of classes we'll have with our membership online classes. I'll do 1 a week. And this is really accessible with our membership. You get unlimited classes like this in your home with me, with Jen, my business partner, and our apprentices. And there's a ton a week. We're going to keep adding more classes every month, I think. We're going to add more teachers being able to do this for you. And then also a very secret, exclusive class for our members at the end of the month that connects to a theme that we always send out at the beginning of the month. All right. I hope you're well. I hope you travel well into your day with this intention. Enjoy your yoga. I'll see you next time. Namaste. Thank you again.